One of the secrets that the Ramchal, Rabbi Chaim Moshe Luzzatto, in his book, The Way of God, reveals is something I would like to start with. He writes, אמצעי אחד נתן לנו האל יתברך שמו בשמדרגתו למעלה מכל שאר האמצעים המקרבים האדם אליו. The force behind creation, the creator, granted humanity with one particular means which can bring us, any of us, closer to the divine energy. One thing more than anything else. והוא תלמוד תורה. And this is the tool known as the wisdom that we are studying, the wisdom of the Torah. שבסגולת הדברים ההם יהיה שמי שיגע בהם בקדושה ובטהרה לכוונה הנכונה שהיא עשיית חפצו יתברך. He's saying that one who invests some time in this wisdom, and again we talk about the Ramchal, which is one of the ancient sages, Kabbalists, with the power of this study, writes, those who study with purity and with the proper intent. What does it mean, purity? What does it mean, the proper intent? And the Kabbalists speak a lot about what should be the intent behind not only studying, but behind any spiritual action that we can take in life. What should be the intent behind what we do? Elevating our consciousness, getting our mind, getting ourselves, getting our energy closer to the channel of the divine. When one gets closer to the light, the Kabbalists explain the outcome of being closer to the light is simply that the heart is more open. How one can measure their success in the spiritual work? One indication: the heart is more open. The individual that is closer to the light is more capable to feel and to give love to those around them, to see and to feel the love within themselves. Any other compartment in life, there are different measurements of success. If you run a business, there is a measurement to measure the success of your business. If you are doing any type of sport, you can measure your success. But if you're a spiritual being, if you're doing spiritual work, how can you measure your success? The heart is more open. Opening the heart, it is not something that is easy. Opening the heart, it will be an effect. It will be the effect. But when we do our studying, when we're doing our connections, when we use any spiritual tool or action, he explains the proper intent. What should be my proper intent? We're studying now. I want that the energy that is being awakened right now will help me to open my heart in a greater level. We want our spiritual actions to affect us in a level that our mind cannot affect us. If you use your mind to open your heart, if you would understand, and I believe you do, how important it is to grow the love inside of you for yourself and for others, is that so simple? Just by your mind gives an order to your heart, open up, love yourself, love other people. Is that so simple? No. The mind does not have this power. This is why the Ramchal explains it should be the intent, because the energy we awaken by any spiritual action has the capability to help us awaken things within that our mind is not capable to do. So I want to start with this secret of the Ramchal, just to put our intention in the proper place according to what a Kabbalah is to do. What we would like to get from tonight's session. When we get into the specific energy of this week portion begins with the words Vayikra el Moshe. God is calling Moses. When the commentators, when the sages getting into the secret behind those words, there is one idea behind. It is not about God calling Moses. It is about Moses being capable to hear the calling. The universe is constantly sending each one of us messages. Not all of us, and not all the time, our channel is open to receive. Vayikra el Moshe, the first secret regarding to the energy of the week, each one of us can open a new part within ourselves that is not open, to be able to hear in a clear way something that is connected with our true calling. Finding our true calling, people can travel the world to search what is it. But this true calling does not exist in the other side of the world. Sometimes you do need to go to the other part of the world just to go and to take yourself through a process. But if one is going to the other side of the world and remains with the same way of thinking, with the same perceptions, with the same way of feeling, with the same way of understanding life, it doesn't matter where you will go. You will not be able to find it. Vayikra el Moshe, it is a week that each one of us can do something to reconnect with something that's related to the true calling of our soul in this life. There is a beautiful section from the Zohar, verse 51. And as we know, as we study, as we read the ancient text of the Zohar, it is not just to receive the information or the wisdom, but it is one of the tools the Kabbalists have been using for thousands of years to help to awaken that unique light. The Zohar says, Rabbi Chizkiah ava shachiach kamed Rabbi Shimon. אמר לה, היי דקי קורבן, קירוב מבאה לאה, או קריבות, מי קורבן, אמר לו, היי ידיע ולגבי חבריה. קורבן מינון כתרין קדישין דמתקרבי כולו כחדה, ומתקשר עמדה בדעה, עד יתעבידו כולו חד. בייחודה שלין להתקנה שמה קדישה, כדכה חזי, כדה עוד הכתיב קורבן להשם. קורבן דינון כתרין קדישין להשם הוא, ולהתקנה שמה קדישה, וליחדה לאה כדכה יאות, בגין דשתקחו רחמין, בחולו עלמין. ושמה קדישה דתעתר ביתרוי, להתבסמה קולה. The Zohar writes, Rabbi Chizkiah, one of the students of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, was in the presence of Rabbi Shimon, his master, his teacher. He said to him, that which is called an offering, in Hebrew, it's called korban. Since the entire book, not only the portion of Vayikra, deals with this simple idea of korbanot, which means offering or sacrifices. Things that in the 1% cannot be connected or related to our day-to-day lives. Between me and you, this third book is the most boring book of the Bible. So the entire book talks about the whole different types of sacrifices that the Israelites and the people in Israel used to give at the time of the Holy Temple. Nothing that can be related to our life today. We don't use these sacrifices, however. That which is called an offering, which means korban, sacrifice, should have been titled bringing near. In Hebrew, the word keruv has the same root, the same letters as the word korban. Keruv means bringing near. The Zohar starts to give us an idea of the inner meaning behind what is the sacrifice about. The whole idea of the sacrifice was something that was supposed and is supposed to bring each one of us near, or drawing near, getting closer. Why then is it called an offering, in Hebrew korban? He responded, it is known among the friends that an offering is the drawing near, getting closer, of those holy crowns, namely the Sfirot Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut, who are all drawn together and mutually connected until they all form a perfect unity, so that the holy name be properly set. What is the Zohar speaks about? The Zohar explains that the whole concept in the spiritual level of korban, known as offering or sacrifice, if we would just replace this word with the true meaning behind it, it is not about bringing an animal and sacrificing it. It is about taking an action, doing something that is helping me to get closer to what known in Kabbalah is the holy crowns, which is the upper levels. When we speak about the upper levels, when one elevates themselves to upper level, as you elevate to the upper levels of realities, of dimensions, you're getting closer to the root. You get closer to the divine. You get closer to the light. So when we speak about something that we can do in order to get closer, as we elevate to what known as the holy crowns, which is the upper dimensions, we're not talking about holy crowns. We don't talk about all of what literally it might mean for us if we were not studying the secrets of Kabbalah. What do we talk about? Get closer to your root. How do you get closer to your root? So in all the teachings, we explain that the root of each one of us is the light of the Creator. If we would be capable to remove all the curtains and all the filters and all the forces that confusing us. There is one unifying force within each one of us, 7 billion people in the world. One unifying force. We all have the divine energy within. For some of us, it is more concealed. For some of us, it is more revealed. Some of us can look at people, can look at situations, and capable to penetrate between all those concealments to find the light of the Creator within people, within situations. For some of us, we are less capable of doing it. Developing in a spiritual level, as we mentioned, is connected. The effect of it is opening my heart. Why? Because even in the most challenging moment, with the most challenging people, what I would look for is the light of the divine within the situation. If we are capable to see the light within the situation, we will not guard ourselves. We will not feel I need to protect myself all day long. I will not be afraid. If we are capable to see the light within people and situations, the effect, I'm not afraid. If I'm not afraid, my heart is open. Why our heart is not open? Simply because we're afraid of something. Opening a channel in this week to help us elevate into the root, the beginning of the process, is not going back into the root of our creation. This will be the most elevated thing we can do, but the work does not begin there. If you look at yourself today and you think what will be a more simple, practical way to reconnect with your root, where can you find your root? Reconnect yourself as a child. Why kids? They're known to be more pure than adults. Why? So in a spiritual level, it is simply because they had less time to create concealments. They are more connected with the true root. Unfortunately, going through life, we don't really know how to go through the process in the most spiritual way. Since coming into life, no one hands the manual for life. You buy anything new, you get a manual, right? How to use. Nobody gives any of us or our parents this manual how to use life in the most powerful and elevated way. So the wisdom does exist within each one of us in the heart of the hearts. But there are many concealments. The closer way we can get into the root to begin the process is to reconnect with ourselves as a child. As a child. A child is much more connected to that purity. As a child, we had less opportunities to create those concealments. In a spiritual level, as we know, the aspect of time passing by in life, we're all going through different process. In a spiritual level, things are more simple than normally we view them. In a spiritual level, it takes a moment to reconnect with a different time. You don't really need to travel through time. You can close your eyes, you can reconnect yourself to a different place. You can bridge 3,000 miles in a second just with the power of your consciousness, with the power of your mind. So what I would like to do is to guide all of us with a simple meditation to help us touch that spark, that purity of ourselves as a child that will help us to realize how this purity still exists within us. And then what is the work that needs to be done in order to use it in the right way? We'd like, first of all, to relax our body, all the tension of our physicality. Closing our eyes. Relaxing the tension, going from the top of your head, the muscles of your face, your eyes, your mouth. Relax your neck, your shoulders, muscles of your hands. Your back, your legs, all the way down to your feet. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. I want you to focus on your breathing. Visualize bright light above your head. The light surrounds you. And I want you to start drawing this light. Surrounds you stronger and brighter until you're able to visualize this light surrounds you from head to toe. Your entire body within this bright light. You're enveloped and protected. You are safe. Focus on your breathing. There is a door in front of you. Wide door. I want you to open the door. And you are going to take one step forward. This one step, crossing this door, takes you back in time. And you see yourself as a child. Take yourself to this moment as a child, where you felt safe, find yourself in the right place, at the right time, with the right people. Feel what it was like to be you then. Remember the dreams you once had. Remember how fragile your heart was. But you did not fear. I want you to see yourself from your present moment, standing or sitting in front of yourself as a child. I want you to bless that child. Tell this child to not worry. Reassure this child that all will be fine. I want you to hug this child and send your love to this child. Whisper in the ear of this child, there is a beautiful life waiting ahead. That the road that lies ahead of this child may at time be challenging, but at the end of the path, there lies great happiness and great joy. Take a deep breath. I want you to ask this child now to help you see your true value, to help you remain true to yourself, to help you be strong and not letting anything to bring fears into your heart. This child is the root of who you are. Ask this child to help you open your heart. Take a deep breath in. There is a door in front of you. Open this door. And you're going to take one step forward. With this step, going to bring all this purity, all this strength, all of these powers that this child gave you into this present moment. Take a deep breath in. And in the count of 3, slowly open your eyes. 1, 2, 'Take another deep breath in. And 3. I'll give you a few moments to write down anything you'd like to write down from your experience in the meditation. And those of you who feel safe and feel the desire to share any of your experiences, to share it with someone that's sitting next to you, you can do that too. Just a few minutes, please. The Zohar in verse 71 writes, Machshava debar nash hi resha dekola. The thought is the beginning of everything. U'me'ahi machshava, and from this thought, itpashatu orchim u'shvilin, their ways and paths emanate from that thought, lasta orchoi be'ai alma, that turn us away in this world, u'be'alma de'atei, and in the world to come. U'me'ahi machshava itnagid v'nafik zo'ama de'yetzer hara, ומאי מחשבה השתכחו עבירות, ואל דע כי לא מחשבותיי, מחשבותיכם. And therefore, says about it, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. As the Zohar explains that the thought is the beginning of anything that eventually manifests in this world. When we getting into the work of connecting with that pure energy within each one of us, going back into that moment as a child, we know that the nature of the world, the time goes by, and one of the big fears inside of people is to get older. But the fear of getting older is the fear that is coming from a thought that is attached to the physical dimension, to the physical reality. None of us want to get older. The process that we're going through is not there to make us older. The process is there to assist each one of us to become more mature. That people can go through life and physically get older, but they operate life from an immature place. And there are people that less years in this physicality of the world, that they have somehow much more mature abilities to handle life. Getting older does not mean becoming more mature. So what happens to the world, unfortunately, the majority of the time, people getting older and getting completely disconnected with this pure spark of themselves as a child, but this spark still inside of them makes them perceive the world in an immature way. Being a child, there are great gifts and there are great limitations at the same time. If you look at a child, if you look at yourself as a child, or you would look at any kid, I want you to think about 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 traits that they're unbelievable. You always want to keep those traits in you, regardless to your age. And there are some traits within a child that you don't really want to have as you want to become more mature in this life. So think about traits of a child that they are unbelievable. You'd wish to be able to keep them day and night within yourself, regardless to how old you are. And think about the traits of a child that you definitely want to become more mature in those areas. You don't want to operate life from those, the control of those traits. What will be those traits? What are the traits that you want to maintain inside of you? What are the traits that you want to move to the next phase, to become more mature regards to those elements, those traits? Maybe in groups of 3. I will give you like 1.5 minutes. Okay, so if you guys can share with us the powerful traits of a kid, powerful traits of a child that you'd want and wish and desire to keep inside of you regardless to where you are physically in your own age process. Yes? Completely? Amazing. Self-expressed. Fearless. I heard it from different direction. Fearless. A kid is not afraid, right, to express them. They are not afraid. They don't have those calculations that adults have, right? Happy. In a simple way. Happy. Yes. Trusting? Trusting. Yes. Amazing. Trusting. Yes. What else? Creative, imagination. Some of the things that getting kind of blocked in our process. Playful. Very important. High energy. Fascinated. Everything is like new. Everything is new, right? As a child. First time you went on an airplane, right? Like, wow. Excitement, right? Enthusiasm. Yes. Yeah. I want to know. I want to know. Desire to know. Yes. Spontaneous. Yes. Yes. Again, beautiful. Not calculating too much. You feel something, you go ahead, you do things, you fall, you stand up, you continue. Tell me some of the traits that you don't really wish to still have or to affect you today. Show how this is good for you. Dependent. A child is a dependent, right? He's dependent. I don't want to say as an adult because this is not what we're talking about, right? We want to build some of the maturity of not being dependent. Because many people are growing up and they're still dependent. Maybe not physically, maybe emotionally. They're dependent on the surrounding. In order to feel good, they need something to happen. They need somebody to give them maybe some compliment to feel great about themselves. Need something in order to feel good. This is now we talk about the traits that we don't want to keep. We don't want to be dependent as a kid, as a little kid. We want to become independent, right? Yes. Validations for others, right? From others, right? To be able to be mature enough, I don't need anyone to give me any validation. I'm enough connected and centered. I know who I am. I don't need you to give me the score to make me feel something. Amazing, yes. Great, great. Right? We realize being selfish does not help us in life. A kid, and there is a spiritual, beautiful explanation and secrets that the Kabbalists explain regarding to the spiritual level of kids. In one of our sessions before Passover, we'll go through the 7 stages of the development of the soul. It might be next week, but there are stages. One of the stages is being selfish. Being selfish does not mean, as a child, it doesn't consider spiritually as a negative trait. Even though, as from where we are today, we don't want to see the kids selfish kids. But in the spiritual level, it's the perfect spiritual program a kid can have. Because as a kid, we develop strong desire to receive. As mature, we want to learn how to use this desire to receive to help and to share with others. Because our capability to give and to share depends on how much we receive. As a kid, it is not a bad trait. As an adult, it's a trait that will limit us. To reveal greater power within ourselves in more mature level, this element will not work well. It will limit us. So selfish. This is a trait I don't want to keep in me. Great. Impatient. I want it and I want it now. It's like my 2 years old, she comes back from school, and she stands in front of the counter where she knows the cookies are, and she doesn't let go. She wants the cookie and she wants it now. No, dinner first. No, cookie, cookie, cookie. 2 years old, they can express themselves in a stubborn way, even if it's not healthy and right for them. As a kid, great attribute. Someone who is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just brings frustration. It just brings lack of understanding why I don't get what I want. A mature vessel, understand that there is a perfect system in the universe. When your vessel is ready, this is the moment the light shows up. You can demand from the inside, I want things in life, but I know in a mature level of thinking, I need to earn it. There is a process for me to go through. I cannot be upset, frustrated that I don't get what I want, like the 2 years old that doesn't get the candy and the cookie that she wants. I cannot live my life this way. It will destroy my life. It will destroy relationships in my life. It will destroy all the potential that I'm here to reveal. It will not let me reveal that. In this week, we want to get clear. When the Zohar says, מחשבה דברנש ורישה דכחולה, ומאי מחשבה התפשטו אורחין ושבילין, that the thought is the beginning of everything. And from this thought, everything will manifest. Depend on the thought. At the root level, what the Kabbalists explain, that this thought of the kid that will not work for us in our stages of life today is that the kid, as one of you mentioned, they need to get what they want in order to be happy. It is not the most mature way, mature thought to carry. It is not a mature belief system that can guide us through life to be able to manifest our true self. Having a belief system, having a mindset, a consciousness that guiding me deep inside of myself, I will be happy when I will get what I want. Doesn't work. The mature way is finding happiness where I am, opens the vessel to receive endlessly. When we take those amazing traits that you mentioned, the excitement, fearless. So I didn't get what I want. You know, the kid, when they don't get what they want, they cry, they stubborn. But for a few minutes, they move on. After an hour, they don't remember that. We remember very well. We cannot move on. When we don't get what we want, we can be down for days. Days. I never seen like 5 years old being down for days because they didn't get the candy. We're taking the limited traits of the kid and we keep living our life with those traits. While what we need to do, revisit yourself as a child in order to receive the blessing from this child, to get and to awaken all the amazing traits that this child has, to be able to grow into that place where you're supposed to grow, when you are capable of growing, but at the same time, to remind ourselves there are parts within this child, myself, that will not work in order to develop myself in the right directions to manifest what my soul came to manifest in this world. So one thing it is that I believe we are not enough taking and connecting with the powerful traits of ourselves as kids. Second thing, it is unfortunately we're taking many of the immature traits that don't really work well for us and using those programs and trying to get what we want. So we don't take really the good, and not only that, but we embrace and continue to use the limited traits. Machshava de barnash, the thought that we speak about, that the Zohar talks about, it is not that simple thought of what do you think about now. It's this inner thought which is the root of all the belief system that we have internally. This is the most powerful time of the year, beginning of this week with the portion of Vayikra, not by coincidence. The sages, when they would start to teach kids the secrets, they would not start from the book of Genesis, which is the beginning. They would start from this book, simply because this book deals, as we mentioned, with the korbanot, that literally means sacrifices. But as the Zohar reveals, the word korban in Hebrew is the same word to get closer to the real root of who we are. never to lose the connection with the root of who we are, or the true success in our life. And the success in life, it is not something that can be measured in the physical way, but our capability to become happy human beings. Depends on that. Depends on that. Recognizing the positive traits, and again, the work begins in this week and obviously can continue, and especially till we're coming into the night of Passover, which there is a major breakthrough that each one of us can experience energetically. The process is to start to recognize the good parts, the positive, the amazing traits of the kid that you want to reconnect yourself with. And the simple way is to find a picture of yourself. And every day, at least this week, start your day by looking at yourself as a kid. Reconnect yourself with this purity, with this fearless energy, with this excitement for no reason, with this illogical ability to express myself with no fears. Reconnect, ignite, reawaken those traits inside of you, those energies inside of you. And at the same time, be aware of all of those traits that you want to pay attention, that you don't want those limited traits of the kid to dictate and to determine how your life is going to look like. At the seed level of the thought, you want to transform, again, beginning with the work of this week, this mindset, this belief system that tells you, my happiness will come when I will get what I want. Take it out of your system. Start proactively to take it out of your system and exchange, replace it. My happiness is not dependent on anything. As the little kid, it doesn't matter what. They can find the excitement. They can find this energy to be enthusiastic about life. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Today it's a new day. To embrace this and proactively to pay attention. As you bring this new mindset into your mind, it is kind of the power of affirmation to start to replace old belief systems. But as you look at a picture of yourself as a kid, as you start to clarify, write down, go over it at the beginning of your day, at least for the coming week or two, till it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger in you. And you'll be able to start to feel the difference that it makes when the root of the thought is becoming more connected with the root of your soul. You will be able to feel the difference in the way you perceive, the way that you handle your life, blessings, challenges, everything that we're going through. You're still going through the same life with a different mindset, with a different thought, with a different perception, with a different belief system, based on those energies that we are capable to start to awaken with the work of this week. Thank you so much, everyone.